Hi, I'm Sarah Carsonson, and this is my classroom community screencast. To start things off, I'll start with the intellectual aspect. I think it's really important to have clear expectations. For the beginning of the year, it's important to say what kind of work you're expecting from your students and how much you're expecting them to put into it. I think it's also important to have clear expectations with every assignment that you hand out, just so kids know exactly what they're supposed to do so there's way less confusion. I think it's also important that I focus on differentiation. There are so many different learners in the classroom, and it'll be so important that I respect that and make sure that each kid is learning the best way that they can. And this will be really important as the year goes on. It'll also be important that I make sure that each kid has an equal opportunity to participate. So this could be showing how to do a math problem up on the board or reading a page from a book out loud. I just want to make sure that each kid has an equal opportunity and I'm not just picking the same student every time. And finally, I think it's really important that I give my kids clear and productive feedback. I want this to be feedback that's really going to help them improve their skills and tell them what they need to work on and what they've also done really well. For social, I think it's really important to start out every day with a morning meeting. There's a lot that can go on in one day, whether it's news, school news, or events. I want to talk about it with my kids. I also want to talk about their lives, what's going on when they go home, or anything exciting that happened in their lives. I think this will be important to continue throughout the day because the kids will get more comfortable and be more willing to share, and we'll really get to know each other, and there'll be a stronger community within the classroom. If I don't have time for a morning meeting, or if I think there's another opportunity for the kids to discuss something or talk about their weekend, I'll do a partner chat and have the kids partner up and talk about their day or anything that I think they need to talk about. Another activity I would love to do is a personal artifact, which is kind of like a show and tell, where each kid will bring in a personal artifact, and I'd probably do this at the beginning of the year. And the kids will present their artifact and say why it's important to them and what it means about them. This could be really great to start relationships because some of the artifacts might relate, and it'll just be great so kids can get to know each other a little better. I'd also like to do a classroom website or blog. This will really help the kids see that their community, and they can go home and show their parents, and they can have something that they can be really proud of as a classroom community. For emotional, I think the most important thing is that my kids feel safe expressing their emotions in the classroom. I want the kids to feel comfortable coming up to me saying, I'm mad, I'm sad, or I'm really happy about how something went. Going along with this, I think it's really important that me and my students are accepting of every student's feelings. No matter if you agree with them or not, it's important to that person, and it's important that we discuss how important it is to accept other people's feelings. It's also important, I think, for kids to understand and accept their mistakes and other people's mistakes because they do happen, whether it's dealing with intellectual or it's dealing with emotional side of things, such as someone got in a fight and said something mean. I want my kids to understand that it's okay to make mistakes. It's just how you move on from that. And I think that can really help the emotional side of things. For the physical space in my classroom, I think it's really important that there's collaboration. No matter what time of the year it is, whether it's the beginning of the year or the end of the year, it'll be important that the kids work together and get to know each other. Because some of these kids may not have ever had classes with some of their peers, and it's important that they work together and get to know each other. Um, I'd also like to make sure that I have a warm spot or just a cozy space for my kids to go if, they just need somewhere to sit and read, or if they just need somewhere that they feel really comfortable. So I want to make sure I have a space like that in my classroom. I'd also like to have a meeting spot for the entire class, and it can be something like this carpet up in the front of this room, or it can be another area. I just want somewhere where there's a spot for the entire group to fit so that we can discuss important things. And I also like to make sure that each student, when they're sitting at their table, that they can have a clear view of the board or wherever I'm teaching. I think that's important so that it minimizes distractions and so that each kid has the opportunity to learn and make sure that everything is presented clearly. So for my own classroom, I designed my own, And I chose to do table groups, and I made sure that all the chairs were only facing the front of the board and that there were none that where the students' backs would be facing. I also put this big rug right in the middle of the classroom because I thought it would be important to have a community space right in the middle of the classroom where everyone could meet quickly and we could talk about our day. I also put this warm spot in the back because I thought, it's important for kids to have a place where they can feel comfortable and relax if needed. And lastly, I put this kidney-shaped table in the back so that I can work with small groups more easily, if it's reading groups or just kids that are struggling or kids that might need some harder material. It'll be easier for me to work back here. So that was my presentation, and overall I think it's just most important that my kids feel safe in this learning environment and that they're not distracted and they're ready to learn. I think it's important for kids also to, feel a part of a community, and I think that my classroom would be a great place for that. And here are my references. Thank you.